on top of that, it's generally not how they think.
Right.
You know? I mean, look at Floyd. Like, Floyd spends money like it's a tap. Like, he's got a tap, just like unlimited amount of money. Money's just flowing. And even as much money as he's made in his career, which he's probably made as much, if not more money than any boxer ever, like, there's all these lawsuits. Like, he hasn't been paying things, and he owes money on this and owes money on that. And it's like, and then he's got to come out of retirement.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah.
That's tough. All the money, you got to show that he got $1 million in his backpack. And, you know, he got the latest watch and the latest car, and look what I just bought.
And when you get into latest watches and latest cars, you get into that shit. Like, boy, that money goes quick.
Yeah.
Bugattis are like $3 million. There's watches that are $3-5 million. That's crazy. So you buy a watch and a car, you're down 10. That's nuts. That's nuts.
Crazy.
I remember Iran Barkley was talking about that. Iran Barkley, when he was in his prime, was hanging out with all these professional athletes, and everybody was getting diamond-crusted chains and this and that, and he was keeping up with these people. Like, you got to keep up with the Joneses. And he just found himself, like, draining all of his money. He was talking about it like that was the biggest detriment to him being able to save any money.
Joe Rogan explains that Floyd Mayweather made an enormous amount of money, but spent it carelessly on flashy cars, expensive watches and luxury collections, neglected taxes, believed his wealth would last forever, and eventually lost close to $1 billion.
It's just the lifestyle that Floyd lived.
Yes.
I think he can't fathom to just live a modest lifestyle. It's like he gotta be lavish.
Right. He's got to have those videos where he shows you all the watches, where he opens the case up, you know. He was talking about it like that was the biggest detriment to him being able to save any money.
They trying to keep up.
Yeah. Which I thought was funny when I was listening to this conversation with Chad Ochocinco. He was talking about it. He was like,
his jewelry fake.
Yeah, he was wearing fake jewelry.
But who would know?
What's that?
Who would know?
No one know. Exactly.
It's
fake
like when
jewelry,
they look at him, like
flying economy. He was sleeping at the stadium, like, so he didn't have to pay for an apartment. So smart. Yeah. So clever, you know? But that's a guy, like, prepared.
Joe Rogan explained that Floyd Mayweather built his entire image around showing off his wealth, regularly displaying expensive watches and luxury items to create envy and attention. But now the real consequences of living the kind of lifestyle are becoming clear for everyone to see.
Watching him fight because they hate him. Because he talks so much shit, and he's like, look at my $1 million watch, look at my jet, look at my house, look at this. He's like constantly showing you all these things that he has. Like, he'll lay out watches in a hotel bed, like, this is $1 million worth of watches. This watch goes for $2 million. And they're like, this is my small watch that I take sometimes, but I want to show you, when I show up, I bring out the big boy, and it brings out this watch that's covered in diamonds. It's like, fuck, $5 million. And so you hate him. People hate him.
He creates envy.
Yes.
Nicholas Irving claims Floyd Mayweather spends close to $1 million a day, constantly traveling, going to casinos, gambling heavily, and living a non-stop high-end lifestyle filled with extreme luxury.
You got gambling and all, of course, the gambling, you know, casinos and all that. He lives a very interesting lifestyle, very fast-paced. I think the average person will have a hard time keeping up, but it's the amount of it. You got the private jets, you got the cars. But no, he could easily spend a few $500,000, $1 million plus in a day, like easy. Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I mean, $400 million in a fight, and you put into like a high escrow or something like that, yeah, you keep pulling in really good interest. But I don't know. I know the dude can spend a lot of money like it's nothing. Like $1 million, $2 million, $5 million for Floyd in a day or a week is like nothing.
Yeah, that's insanity. I mean, it would not surprise me if all of this is hyperbole. You know, I've always looked at Floyd as a very, very smart person, not just in the ring, but outside of the ring.
Yeah.
And I say this because much of what we see, it's the show. He understood. He was in show business.
Yep.
DJ Vlad said a well-known jeweler told him Floyd Mayweather could be facing financial trouble due to years of heavy spending on jewelry, watches, cars, and other luxury items.
I don't see Mayweather even doing any goofy shit like that.
But you would think that your investments would continue to grow,
right?
As long as you keep your spending under wraps. Like right now, like I could retire right now. This could be my last interview ever,
right?
And with my investments, I invested into a lot of great companies like Google and Amazon and Tesla over the years, and those companies have all grown and continue to grow, right? And I could actually borrow money against my stock portfolio without even selling my stocks.
Right.
So I assumed that Mayweather was in a similar spot because he made so much cash, and if you invested even in common stocks, you should do pretty well. But I mean, listen, Mayweather never flies commercial. He's only flying private.
So he doesn't own his own plane?
I don't think so. I've never seen a Mayweather plane, like a Drake plane. I've never seen that. Not to say that he doesn't. I don't know Mayweather like that. I've never.
Chael Sonnen explains that Floyd Mayweather is a professional boxer, and many fighters end up losing their wealth after retirement because their fame fades, their prime years come to an end, and the public's attention gradually disappears over time.
Money! What's wrong with that? And why are we attempting to tease Floyd? Is Floyd Mayweather? Yes, he's broke. Of course he's broke. He's a boxer. Did they say can't read? That's not to tease him. They say that he can't read. His best friend at the time said that he can't read, and he never denied it. What boxer do you know that isn't broke? What a ridiculous question. But it's the fact that they're attempting to tease him. I mean, first off, they're asking the question. Look, I've told you until I'm blue in the face. The numbers that you hear in boxing simply aren't true. Floyd made $1 billion. No, he didn't. Floyd and Conor made $500 million. No, they didn't. Of course they didn't. Nobody's ever confirmed that. Literally nobody. It's the same thing with boxing pay-per-view. Whatever boxing pay-per-view is the biggest boxing pay-per-view of all time is just whoever put out the press release and lied more than the person before them. These have never been confirmed by leadership of a publicly traded company, who is the one that supplies the pay-per-view. It is illegal for—
WAC 100 claims Floyd Mayweather Jr. has faced financial struggles for nearly 20 years, and that even having $20 million could be seen as broke for someone at his level.
Floyd, I've talked to Floyd, I've asked him questions about this. And rule number one is, if Floyd ain't talking about it and Floyd ain't promoting it, then it's just talk.
They're accusing him of going broke because he's looking for these fights.
They've been accusing Floyd of going broke for 20 years. Now, let's talk about going broke. Maybe down to 200 million. Maybe that's his broke. I don't know.
Maybe that's his broke.
What I do know is his homes is still there, because when he tell me to come see him, it's the same addresses. Every time he called me, it's stars on the roof. Right? So I don't know, unless somebody is hacked into this man's finances. They always accuse the man of going broke. So maybe he's—
Nicholas Irving explained that the financial troubles linked to Floyd Mayweather Jr. are often associated with the extremely lavish lifestyle he has maintained for many years. According to Irving, Mayweather has regularly spent massive amounts of money on entertainment, travel, and luxury experiences, not only for himself, but also for his close friends and associates. He described situations where Mayweather would take his entire team on expensive shopping sprees, arrange private jet travel, and even book an entire movie theater for a private screening. These kinds of habits, he said, can create daily spending that easily reaches hundreds of thousands of dollars, and in some cases can even go beyond $1 million.
If there's any legitimacy to that, like how on God's green earth could this man be broke?
His lifestyle. I've been around like hanging out for days, weeks. It's the lifestyle. Like when you got a 40-man entourage, you got other people, and you take everybody out, pay for everything, we shopping, the mall, going out to eat, renting out an entire movie theater. Yeah, just to go watch a movie at whatever time he wanted. It was like the theater was closed when we rolled up to the movie theater, and you know, you got the girls and all. Yeah, and you rent out a whole movie theater for 40, 50 plus people. I bet that bill can rack up a little.
Irving stressed that the real issue was not just the high level of spending, but the absence of strong long-term investments to secure Mayweather's financial future. Instead of concentrating on building stable and lasting income sources, Mayweather reportedly focused most of his energy on enjoying luxury experiences and personal comfort, which slowly put serious pressure on his overall wealth. Over time, this combination of constant high-end spending and weak financial planning created a risky situation for his money. Irving's analysis shows a lifestyle that may look glamorous and exciting from the outside, but is not built for long-term stability. It also serves as a clear reminder that even the highest-earning athletes in the world can face financial difficulties if they ignore proper planning, savings, and smart investment strategies in favor of short-term enjoyment and luxury indulgence. Mayweather's example highlights how personal financial decisions, even at the peak of success and fame, can have serious long-term effects on wealth, security, and financial stability.
And I say this because much of what we see, it's the show. He understood. He was in show business.
Yep.
When he was Pretty Boy Floyd, he was a boxer that was doing his thing.
Mm-hmm.
He was winning fights.
Mm-hmm.
But when he became Money Mayweather and changed that persona and put that marketing machine behind the I live this lavish lifestyle, that's when you started seeing him make these big money fights.
Yeah.
That's when it all changed for him.
Yep.
And that's not by accident. It's not by chance. This guy's not dumb. He's not a stupid guy whatsoever.
No. And I don't think, that's what I'm saying, I don't think he's broke. I think it's a lot of, to get eyes on the...
WAC 100 shared his opinion about Floyd Mayweather Jr. and the financial discussions around him. He said that if Mayweather still has the ability to step back into the ring and earn millions from just one fight, then there is nothing wrong with taking that opportunity, and it should not be judged. According to him, many athletes return to competition when they see that their name still has strong demand and global interest. He believes boxing is one of the few sports where a legendary fighter can come back for exhibition matches, still draw huge attention worldwide, and generate massive income. In his view, if the chance to make millions is available, then choosing to fight again is simply a smart and practical financial decision rather than something negative.
Got $200-300 million, man, to get in the ring with, we got $150 million to get in the ring with Mike Tyson on some exhibition shit. And then 6 months later, we got $300 million for you to get in the ring with Manny Pacquiao. He look it up, he like, that's $450 million. Sometimes you miss the light. But I can guarantee you, he ain't broke. He's making a lot of sound investments. You hear me, Cam Capone?
Yep.
This I know for a fact. He's making a lot of sound investments. And the investments I've seen being made ain't the investments of someone that's...
DJ Vlad talked about claims surrounding Floyd Mayweather Jr. and his financial situation, explaining that a well-known jeweler once told him Mayweather could be under financial pressure because of years of extremely high and continuous spending. Vlad said that large purchases like luxury jewelry, expensive watches, cars, private travel, and overall lifestyle expenses may have taken a major portion of his total wealth over time. He added that if more focus had been placed on long-term investments instead of heavy luxury spending, it could have helped protect and grow his fortune in a more stable way. Vlad also mentioned that the business side of boxing could have been even stronger for Mayweather if Mayweather Promotions had continued to expand properly, especially with top fighters like Gervonta Davis staying under the promotion. According to him, if that had happened, the company might have developed into one of the biggest and most powerful promotional brands in boxing history. controlling major fights, and generating even greater long-term revenue.
Told me that Mayweather is in financial problems.
See, here's the part about actually losing your money when you're on that level and you're, kind of like flossing, showing off. Nobody gives a shit. Like there's people actually praying for you to be broke. And then when you do go broke, that's what people are gonna say. Yeah. Oh, well, you should have invested better. Nobody's gonna care. Nobody's gonna give him any loans. So now, we might see Mayweather doing.
People will give him some loans.
Maybe.
Listen, he's cozying up to Israel. That's
but
not
the
an
thing
accident.
about it is, he had Mayweather Promotions.
Yeah.
And he was hosting a big, he had Javante Davis under his cards. And so that's a
yeah, but look what happened to Javante.
Right. So if you can sustain that, you don't ever have to box again. But now has to take fights because when you floss like Mayweather, you can't go down.
Yeah.
You got to stay right there because people are gonna beat any kind of chinks in your armor if you're not wearing 3 or 4 big $1 million diamond.
Boxing analysts have shared strong views about the upcoming exhibition between Floyd Mayweather and Mike Tyson, saying it looks more like a money-driven event than a true competitive fight. Many experts believe Tyson is far past his prime and is unlikely to deliver the same level of performance that once made him a dominant force in boxing. At the same time, critics say that if Mayweather truly wanted a serious challenge against Tyson, it should have happened years ago when both fighters were at their peak physical condition. Instead, the timing of this match makes it seem more focused on using their fame, legacy, and popularity to attract huge global attention and generate massive revenue, rather than delivering a real sporting contest.
This. Who looks at it now and says he's 50-0? A generation, the first generation of boxing fans who don't box. Tattoos all over. You will shoot somebody down for $1, right? You will play around and beat up a bum who's drunk out of his mind so you can put it on YouTube, right? But you won't put on the gloves. You won't go to a local gym and put on the gloves. And you have killed boxing. You have killed something that saved me from a life of being a victim. Okay? You have done it. And you have destroyed boxing in such a way, Floyd Mayweather fans and Floyd Mayweather. You have destroyed boxing in such a big...
While Floyd Mayweather and Mike Tyson remain two of the most iconic and legendary names in boxing history, analysts are cautioning that this exhibition match is unlikely to deliver the kind of technical skill, strategy, or serious competition that fans usually expect from a true professional fight. They explain that both fighters are well past their prime, and while their names still carry massive global appeal, their current physical condition is not the same as during their peak years. Because of this, experts believe the event will focus more on entertainment value rather than genuine sporting intensity or high-level boxing execution. Many observers say that even though fans are excited at the idea of seeing two all-time greats share the ring, the actual performance may lean heavily towards showmanship, controlled action, and stage moments designed to keep the audience engaged rather than delivering a real competitive battle. Critics also point out that the timing and promotion of the fight strongly suggest financial motivation, with organizers aiming to use the legacy, fame, and global recognition of both fighters to attract massive viewership and generate huge revenue. As a result, the event is being described by many analysts as more of a commercial spectacle than a traditional boxing contest, where entertainment, publicity, and profit appear to take priority over competition, athletic excellence, and true sporting legitimacy.
Mayweather would have lasted all of maybe a minute against a prime Mike Tyson. Okay? Against a prime Mike Tyson. But what Mike Tyson are we looking at today? We're looking at a very old man who has abused his body, who has bad knees, right? Who is a lot slower, okay? And after 2 rounds, he's done. He's an old man. Now, when you have a style like Mike Tyson, where everything you do, you being great, depends on speed because you're short. You understand? See, Mike Tyson could never do what George Foreman.
Meanwhile, Some analysts are also asking fans to think beyond the idea that Mayweather is only coming back for financial reasons. They argue that for many fighters, boxing is not just a business, but a lifelong passion that becomes a core part of who they are. According to this view, athletes like Mayweather may still be drawn to the ring because of the excitement, the adrenaline, and the unique atmosphere that only a live fight can offer, which would be just as powerful as any financial reward. These experts suggest that his return could also come from a genuine love for the sport and the feeling of competing in front of a global audience, rather than being purely motivated by money.
Mayweather, one of the few names in boxing that still somehow matters because there are very few of them, comes out of retirement at 49 years old. We're assuming, right? Everyone's assuming he needs money, right? Nobody goes back into the game of possibly being hit and embarrassed in front of people simply because they love boxing a great deal at the age of 49.
He's probably incredibly confused why someone keeps selling his mortgages. He probably has a dozen homes and 3 dozen different people holding his mortgages lately. That's why he's fighting.
It's the price of blow pops that has brought him back into
I'm sure all of it.
Fighting.
And he doesn't look, from where I was sitting over the last 20 years, didn't seem like he was like super fiscally responsible. This is the least surprising thing ever.
Well, you say it's the least surprising thing.
I believe Floyd Mayweather's comeback should not be seen only as a money-driven move. They explain that for legendary fighters, boxing is more than just a profession. It becomes a passion, a lifestyle, and a core part of their identity that stays with them even after retirement. Stepping back into the ring gives athletes a chance to reconnect with the excitement, focus, and energy that only real competition can offer. In Mayweather's case, facing a well-known opponent like Mike Tyson could give him the opportunity to experience again the intensity and thrill of performing at a high level, something that money alone cannot replace. While these exhibition fights do offer large paydays, experts also point out that the emotional connection to the sport, the challenge of the moment, and the chance to interact with fans and the boxing world can be just as powerful. They suggest fans should also consider the personal satisfaction and genuine love for boxing that may be influencing this return.
You say it's the least surprising thing ever, but can you, Jeremy, just look up for me, okay, the amount of earnings that we're talking about here? Because while, athletic money being blown is a bit of a cliche, there are very few athletes ever who have made the kind of money that Floyd Mayweather has made. And because he's the best in the history of pay-per-view at making sure that the money ends up in his pocket. He is, or has been, a businessman as an athlete that almost doesn't have a peer because he owns all his own stuff as an independent. Your spending has to be so fiscally irresponsible to lose the amount of money that Floyd Mayweather has lost that it is almost beyond anything that is reason. It's not merely fiscal insanity. It's something that doesn't make any sense to me.
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned for more updates.